Yo, we're back. The franchise is here, and we're covering some recent releases. All right. Mission Impossible's got a new movie out, The Final Reckoning. They're saying it's the final one. We don't know if that's true. They might be lying to us. They've done it before. They'll do it again. And there's also Final Destination Bloodlines. All right, that's very much not the final. That feels like a new beginning for the franchise. Um, I'm Daniel Ehrenberg. I'll be hosting the show. I'll be with you for the next 90 minutes or so, or maybe even less than that. All right. We'll see how it goes. All right. Over there, if you're watching the video feed, he's got the Mission Impossible poster behind him. Um, and that's Logan Adair. Logan, what's up?
Everything is up. I don't think Mission Impossible has ever been like, this is the last movie, and then come back when they're like, just kidding. Have they done
Well,
that? I don't think so.
I don't know that they've done that officially, but I remember when Fallout came out, that felt like a series finale to me. And I was like, this would be perfect. If they ended the franchise right here, Fallout as the last movie makes this a great action franchise. But I've really enjoyed the last, the two they've done after that. So I'm not going to give them too much shit.
Right.
And they did announce this as the last Mission Impossible movie, but Tom Cruise on the promotional trail did compare the Ethan Hunt character to Indiana Jones and implied that he might want to come back and do some old person Mission Impossible movies.
It's funny he doesn't think of himself as an old person already.
I know, because I was watching the movie the other day and I was like, wow, he's looking pretty old these days.
I noticed especially during the biplane scene, you can see his face stretching,
Yeah.
all the
But
saggy face that he's got
part
now.
of that is also that like he's doing it. Like
Yeah,
he's
that's why
on
his
that
hair's so
biplane.
long, I
Like
think.
there's a shot of Isai Morales during that sequence where like his face is rippling similarly to Tom Cruise, but you could tell it's CGI.
Oh wow.
I'm like this motherfucker's not doing it. That guy is.
Yeah. Well, I do hope they're done.
I kind of do too. At least for like a while.
Well, then by that point, we're gonna bring him back when he's 90?
Yeah, I feel like if you want to, you can bring him back when he's like Anthony Hopkins's age from like the Mission Impossible 2, and like
Okay.
he could be that guy. He could be like back at base.
Right. I
Uh,
definitely don't want him doing stunts because
No,
when
no, no,
Indiana
no.
Jones came back, he was riding on the horse and doing all the crazy
Yeah.
CGI stuff.
I have no interest in watching an 80-year-old Tom Cruise like jumping off of
Try to
planes.
run.
I have that. Stop that.
Right.
But yeah, let's I'd be fine with it if it like he floated the idea in one interview of Glenn Powell taking over as like the action guy and like him being more of a behind the scenes guy, and like I guess I'd watch that movie.
Is Glenn Powell an action guy? Can he do that?
I think he could.
I don't know if he can. I think he's a great actor, but I'm not sure he's like a stunt guy. That's why I thought Renner was a good choice because he would really put his body out there.
That's true. Yeah.
But
But
Cruz said, hell no. And now Renner can't do it because he can't move his body anymore.
Renner, I mean, he's gone through a lot. Like he was almost born. He was almost Ethan Hunt. They both like just decided no at a certain
Mhm.
point. And yeah, then he got into that like snowmobile accident, and he
And they
turned
wouldn't even pay
down.
him to make a Hawkeye too. They wouldn't even give
Right,
him the
right, right. He turned
money.
down season 2 of Hawkeye because they were offering him less money.
Awful.
I know.
But he'll make a
Fuck it.
big comeback. He's gonna win some Oscars, Jeremy Renner.
I don't know about that, but I
I hope
really
so.
do see a comeback. Like that guy's got chops.
The
Go
Hurt
back and
Locker
watch.
is one of the great performances of the 21st century. So
Sure, go back and watch The Town. Like
yep, that one too.
he owns that movie, and that movie's that like the cast is stacked, and Jeremy Renner is like the guy that stands out.
The guy, the person is Blake Lively, but he might
She
be the
does
guy
stand out.
that
You're
stands
right.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Tag, he's hysterical in Tag. And I think
I
that's
I
another one where he broke his ankle or something doing a
yeah,
stunt in that movie.
I remember I watched a little bit of Tag in the mental institution.
Oh, great. Did you
Yeah.
laugh a lot?
No, it kind of held up better than I was expecting it
I
to.
really like Tag. I've been
You know,
championing it for
when
years.
you're seeing a Tag in theaters, it's not a very good movie. But when it's your only option in a mental institution, you
I
could
could
do
see it
worse.
working there. I didn't
Yeah,
watch it in the movie theater, so
I did. That might be why I was negative on it.
yeah,
That really does feel like the kind of movie like if you catch on like
a
a channel
plane.
with commercials or something on a Sunday afternoon at home, like that could really play.
I think I just bought the Blu-ray. I was like, I'm gonna like this one, so I bought it and watched it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
What you want to start with Final Destination?
I think that did come out first.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So let's do it.
Hmm.
This is a film.
By the way, they were handing these out at the theater when I came in. They were like, "Oh, you're seeing Mission Impossible? You want this?" I was like,
It's the
"Yeah."
exact same
And
cover
on
as
the
the
back, it's like
original
a
film.
has like an IMAX thing that I wanted
Okay,
to
yeah,
do. I thought
yeah.
this one would be more noticeable as the
That
Mission
one's
Impossible,
great. It looks like the original movie,
but she's old now.
and it's May 22nd, 2025. I noticed in the film when he hands Hannah
Oh
Waddingham,
my god,
who's like
I hated that part.
really. I mean, I like her fine, but she's doing a pretty bad American accent. Um, he hands her a piece of paper that says May 22nd, 1996, and I feel like that was the day the original came out.
That was what I thought when I saw it. I was like, are they just doing a thing to the release date of the first movie? I'd never seen any
Yeah,
movie do that before. I wanted to throw up, but I kept it together.
it didn't bother me.
I thought it was pretty lame, honestly.
Listen,
I was like, are we supposed to pop for that? What is this?
if
What the
this is
hell?
really the last movie and we're doing a thing, you know what I popped the fuck out for? When they revealed that one character was like the dude who came in to the room after he like did the wire thing in the
Oh
first
yeah, that was cool.
movie. I was like, this rules.
I
Like
think I
that
kind
is
of
a
recognized him.
I didn't.
I
I
didn't
didn't at
place it, but I was
all.
like, I know this fucking guy.
But I was like, if franchises are really going to start going for like 30 years, that is how you use the longevity of the franchise in positive ways.
I agree. That was really cool. But they kept showing flashbacks. This movie is like what percentage flashback do you think? Over
It's
under
quite a
10%
lot.
flashback.
No, under,
I
but
don't know about that.
I do. But there was a lot. You know,
So much.
like I mean, I had forgotten the whole thing that we didn't know what the thing he stole in the third one was. You know,
Oh,
like
the
they never revealed
monkeys
that.
or the rabbit's foot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that was just a mystery, and like that's a very J.J. Abrams thing to do. But I like when they started revealing like that was the entity, and I was like,
Hmm.
oh, holy shit.
There were too many things in this movie, though. We're talking about the rabbit's foot. We've got this podkova.
Yeah,
Luther makes a poison pill.
yeah.
Uh, I'm not gonna say this was bad or anything, but at a certain point, I was feeling, what was that? The the last Skywalker?
The
What was
rise.
the Rise of Skywalker? I was feeling like that. How they were like, we have to get this thing
Oh,
and line it up to get this to then move on to the next
not
chapter.
even close.
I was like, oh my
Christopher
god.
McQuarrie is a fucking pro, and like everything felt right to me.
Okay.
Like I feel like when I watch this series as a binge someday, like these will feel like good payoffs.
I bet they will, but this one stood out as there's a little too much going on. I also don't know why the part two is 3 hours long.
I yeah, I remember reading I think it was Maddie Rags, our listener. He said that his girlfriend after leaving the movie, her review was like, this is the first movie I've ever seen where every scene felt too long.
Not the action ones, especially the biplane part. That one that could have been longer.
Yeah, yeah. But I liked that. That was I really liked this movie. It's like high on my list of Mission Impossible movies, but like I can't really argue with that either.
Right.
Yeah. All right, but
I don't
let's
know
get
how
to
that's 3 hours long. I feel like there's like an hour and 20 minutes of this movie that was like really watchable.
there's so much exposition. There's so much
And
time like
flashback.
explaining to you what the entity means and what the world is like now under the entity's rule.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean it's a lot. The stakes are crazy. Like yeah, I'm low stakes Daniel, as you
Right.
know.
Well, he was high stakes hunt.
This is high stakes. This is the highest stakes of any Mission
Is
Impossible
that
movie.
true? I mean, at Fallout, like the world was gonna end. Like Michelle Monaghan's there having to like help Luther out with
Yeah,
everything.
but they're literally like that's like a bomb going off. It's going to kill a lot of people in like a nearby region. Like this movie is about like the human race coming to an
We're
end.
gonna all be entities at the end of this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, or not. Like they float the idea that like if the entity takes control of all of the missile silos or whatever, like the whole world is going to descend into nuclear war and we're all going to die.
Yeah, that seems very scary. Was that
Yeah.
a Rebecca Ferguson shout out? The silo?
Oh, good God. Yeah.
She's not around anymore.
Season two of Silo sucked.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
horrible.
I know.
Is she still on it?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. That's weird she moved over to a TV show. I wouldn't have thought that for her.
Respect for TV.
I know.
Yeah, okay, okay.
I just wouldn't have thought
Um,
it.
we got to do Final Destination.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we moved on.
Yeah. All right. So this film is I mean what? The last one came out in like 2011.
Yep.
All right. So like for a while they just weren't gonna make another one. It was that they were fine with that being the last one. Had
This is
that
my
twist
first in the
ending and shit.
theater. What about you? How many have you seen in the movie
I
theater?
saw the original in theaters and
Whoa.
never again until this one.
What a weird decision by you.
I know. I know.
That's terrible. I want to go to like a marathon. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
You ever gone to one of those, like the Kill Bill marathons or anything like that?
I feel like I have,
A
but I can't remember
stabathon?
what. Yeah, Stepathon.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. All right. So the first inkling that they were making another one happened in 2019. The fellas that wrote Feast, the Project Greenlight guys, they wrote a draft of a Final Destination movie about first responders.
Hmm.
Okay, and that sort of got the interest back. They were like, let's not make that movie, but let's make a Final Destination movie. I feel like that might
Yes,
do
the world
well
needs it.
in this market.
It better
So
keep going, by the way.
they announced in 2022 it was going to debut on HBO Max, and ultimately that didn't happen. We ended up putting it out in theaters,
Hmm.
and by the way, it's done incredibly well. The
Yay.
box office has been massive, so I imagine we're gonna have more Final Destination movies. We have a story credit by John Watts, the fellow
Hmm.
involved in the Marvel Spider-Man movies, and but the script is by officially Guy Busick and Laurie Evans Taylor. Laurie Evans Taylor is a new name to me. I don't know who she is, but Guy Busick worked on uh, the post Kevin Williamson Scream movies.
He seems to be one of their guys because he also wrote Abigail and Ready or Not.
Mm,
So he's one of the radio silence guys.
yeah, yeah,
They don't talk
yeah.
about him. They're radio silent about him. That's pretty weird. I don't understand what
Yeah,
that's
give
about.
guys some credit.
Seriously.
But the directing credit is two fellas, Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein. And I'm not too familiar with them, except that we covered them previously on the franchise. They directed Leprechaun Origins,
Oh
starring
wow.
Hornswoggle, which is the worst Leprechaun movie.
Did he only do
So,
one of those, Hornswoggle?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, well, I never
And
watched them. You did that with Henry.
yeah, well,
Thank
that's
God.
that's true. Yeah, you got lucky there. That was a P dot pick back when we were letting people pay for franchises. Um,
I've seen the first three Leprechauns, and I kind of like the first three.
Hey, they're all right. I would recommend watching the Hood ones.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen that too. Is that four? I
Oh,
haven't seen
okay.
the second Hood one.
That's 4 and 5, I think. No. That's 5 and 6 because 4 is in space.
Oh, I've seen up to five. Then I saw in space. That was when
Okay.
we were ranking installments, and I remember
Yeah.
watching them. So I've seen more than I thought.
Okay. Yeah. You've done it. But anyway, that's not a good pedigree.
No,
And honestly, I kind of think this movie looks like shit. Like I was feeling really old watching this movie because I was watching the opening sequence, which is mostly very well done in terms of pacing and writing and performances and like what actually happens.
I have a
Uh,
problem. We can talk about it.
but it's done on such a fucking everything looks green screen to me. Like nothing looks real. None of the backgrounds, none of the sets, and
I,
I,
I
I,
agree.
I I was feeling like an old man. Like I hate how movies look now.
Did it look dark to you? Maybe
A
that was my
little bit,
theater. It was
a
like
little
a
bit.
little dark.
Yeah,
When it to
but
be a little
that's what
brighter.
happens when you're doing green screen on like an outside.
Yeah, I did not like the look at all. It really um dampened, would that be a word?
Sure.
The opening sequence. And I think another thing that ruined the opening was usually we're getting introduced to the people that we're going to follow the rest of the movie in the opening scene. So there's a lot of character development. And here we're only like it's about the grandma and then we skip in time. So we don't need to know anybody. So we don't get
Right.
any real character development. I was kind of like on
There's
edge the opening. I was like on the fence a little bit. Um, but I enjoyed it. I did like it.
but there's so much of the opening scene where you're like, oh, I guess like one of these people will survive,
Mhm.
but then none of them do. It just turns out to be like the main character's
Well, they all do.
dream.
Well, yeah, it was her thing, and they all die. But then she got everybody off. Like they actually
Yeah,
did all survive
right.
in
Which
reality.
is an okay twist, but like the opening sequence really ultimately didn't mean much. And
I agree. Well, we got
I
Bloodworth as a little boy. That was a really fun twist. I thought later on when he was like, "I was there, the little boy that night. I wasn't supposed to be there."
yeah,
That was
that
pretty
was pretty
cool.
good.
Yeah, I thought he was great. I got choked up. I watched it. I'd seen it. He had already died. Had he died by the time the movie came out?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was well dead by that point. But I had also read that like his final words as Bloodworth, where he's like, like live every moment to the fullest.
Yes.
He like apparently ad libbed that on
Oh
set.
wow.
Yeah, and they kept it in the movie. Like he knew he was dying,
Holy
and
shit.
he wanted to include like that's pretty amazing.
That
Like
is
that they were
amazing.
able to capture that.
I got choked up without even knowing the story about that. Just him saying that, I was like, "Whoa!" And he was so good. I thought,
Yeah,
um,
he's always good. Tony Todd, man.
yeah, but yeah, the opening scene. I honestly think it's one of the worst. It might be the worst of the series for me
Wow.
personally.
No. I'll take it
What's
over the
worse?
fucking NASCAR or whatever.
No, I like that more.
Okay.
We get more character development. We see like the mom put the tampons in her
Yeah, but
son's
that movie
ears.
sucks.
It does,
Like
but that's fun. It
it's
doesn't start rolling,
developing
rolling, rolling,
characters.
rolling. That time's rolling.
It does it. That
I
features
believe so. It
Rolling by
opens
Limp Bizkit.
rolling. Yeah.
Maybe I
So that's
shouldn't be so
better.
hard on it. Yeah.
This has no
Uh,
music.
but like I was invested in it in a way that I haven't been in every opening. But then it's
Really?
just sort of like, yeah, but I hated the look of it.
Right.
I thought they had nice chemistry.
They were good. The actors were good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my
All
problem
right.
wasn't just the look, it was the fact that it was less meaningful than all the other ones. We met two people, I felt. And like the little kid, there's a little annoying kid running around and like the bellhop or the
Right.
elevator guy. We did meet a few people, but not on a deep level like we usually
But
do.
there were like a lot of balls in the air. Like, ooh, this fire. There's a little fire. Like they're doing flambe at the table and they're dancing on that glass. There's an elevator going on. Like that
Of
dude's got a
course.
penny. I liked how much danger there was.
It's the movie's very creative. I think definitely more creative than the last couple.
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
since at least
they're
three, probably.
really utilizing the the
The
premise.
franchise, the yeah, the
Yeah.
premise of the franchise, exactly.
Hmm.
But I guess we'll get yeah. So is that it on the opening at the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Skyview place? So then
Oh,
right,
wait. So this movie came out May 16th, 2025, about a month ago. $50 million budget ultimately. And so far it has made $258.2
whoa,
million dollars at the
that's
box office
awesome.
worldwide. It's done really well. At the domestic box office, it is in the top 10, coming in at number 7.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a sign we better make number seven.
Yeah. All right.
Catch up to Final Destination or Mission Impossible. Oh wait, they're on eight. My bad. Oh, all right, so we skip ahead in time. Now she's a grandma living off on her own in like a shack somewhere. And oh, I guess we meet her granddaughter first before we deal with any of that. She's having like nightmares or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
What'd you think about her?
I hated her.
Really?
Yeah. So she's my LVP of the movie. Like it's amazing to me that this movie was able to like I was still able to enjoy it despite having such a bad actor as the lead. Her name is Caitlin Santojuana. I looked her up, and I think she's god awful.
God
Like
awful.
just really bad in every scene.
I
And
I started feeling the same way you were, and then eventually I just got over it, and I was like, she's probably fine. She's probably like as good as the other Final Destination leads, basically.
No, 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 no.
At least like
Ali
two
Larder
and
acts circles around this lady.
okay,
Uh,
her and
and Mary Elizabeth
Winstead and
Winstead,
Alex. I always forget his name. Stan. What's his name?
Devon Sawa.
Devin Sawa. Those guys are better, but like the woman from two and the guys from four and the people from five, I thought she was as good. Well, not five. Five has a good
Fine, but like
cast.
that's not exactly like a compliment.
Okay, fine. Uh, I didn't think she was god awful, but I thought probably thumbs down.
I thought she was terrible, and I spent the entire movie trying to figure out her ethnicity.
Juana.
Okay. So not the actresses, the characters.
Oh.
Okay? Because we first meet her in a college classroom, Logan, and the teacher calls her up to the front at the end of the class, and he refers to her as Miss Reyes.
Hmm.
All right, so I'm like, all right, she's Hispanic, that's fine. She's Latina.
Dad was
And
Asian though, right?
yeah, but then we go back home. The dad and the brother are both Asian. So I'm like, oh, so I guess the mom was Latina. Then we meet the mom, super white.
I thought gay.
I-
I met the mom and I was like, oh, she left the family because she realized she's gay.
yeah.
And then she came up with the whole story. I was like, oh, I'm wrong. She's not
Okay.
gay.
So I could not figure out where the Latina heritage came
It's a really good
from.
question, Daniel.
Yeah. I honestly spent a lot of the movie thinking about it.
I didn't think about it honestly. I was like, well, she's mixed, dad's Asian, mom's white. There we go.
Then
I
how
thought
is
they
she
did.
Latina?
I didn't think about it. I think that I missed the Reyes line and I didn't pay attention to what she looked
That's the
like that
thing.
much.
If I missed the Reyes line, I might have been able to ignore it.
I think I was opening my Sour Patch Kids and I missed it.
Are you kidding me? I'm already done with my fucking
I
candy by that point.
feel like I
But
saw some fun trailers. I meant to write some down that I could think of, but I can't think of any now.
oh,
Oh,
I
I know what
remember.
you did last summer
Oh, you saw that trailer? I didn't see that one.
with the girl from Outer Banks.
I saw the one with where Allison Brie and Dave
Ooh,
Franco are
that looks
getting
fun.
stuck together. That looks interesting.
They made it. Like they just like
Um,
locked themselves in their house and made that movie.
in front of Mission Impossible, probably the strongest urge I've had to drink since getting sober a couple weeks ago was when I watched the Smurfs trailer.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, so the Smurfs, it's like they're really trying to sell you. Rihanna plays Smurfette.
Okay.
All right, so like that's huge.
Right.
Okay, you got to see this movie. Rihanna plays Smurfette, but like the trailer was all just like someone farts and then it's like, oops, I smurfed.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Are you a Smurfs fan?
I watched it as a kid, but like I don't understand why it's 2025 and we're still making Smurfs movies.
It's a great question.
Like that was an 80s property.
But
I
even
feel
that
like
popular then, though?
I've they weren't honestly, but like I feel like the people that were really into the Smurfs, they're like grandparents now. It's not even the people like showing their kids like the thing now.
No, I think
You know,
people like the Peanuts more than the Smurfs, right?
well the Peanuts is like that. That's that'll last through the ages. All
Oh
right,
wow.
they've been showing that on TV. You know, when I was a kid, and like the shit they were showing was from when my parents were kids.
Okay,
So
so it's already shown
like
it'll
that
last.
that's just like that will stand the test of time. But like, you know, now they're making like Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers movies and stuff. Like that's all fine.
What was that
Like
newest
it's
Ninja Turtle movie?
mutant mayhem.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say mayhem. That was your
I
favorite word back in the day. Why did you say that?
yeah, but you always made fun of me, so I've corrected
Maybe this
myself.
is the test, though. We're just testing the waters. Are we? Do we like Smurfs still?
But
Do
it's
we?
I do. Are we still doing like 80s properties? Like, what is going on here?
I mean, we did Ghostbusters. We're still doing Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I guess we're still doing Transformers.
Yep. That was pretty good, though. Remember? We liked that one.
Uh, it's all relative.
It was like Magneto and
I know.
Professor X.
I know. It was like Mufasa, but
Oh man, that movie
Transformers.
sucked.
Mhm. Okay.
All
So
right, yeah, you
anyway,
were you were upset about that. That
I
she
wasn't upset,
you were
but
confused by it.
yeah.
Yeah, but she gets home. We meet. So fun family dynamics. You'll have to help me get it straight. Mom is the daughter of the woman we met at the beginning, and she has a brother who has another family, and her brother is the guy who gets run over by the lawnmower.
Correct.
Okay. So dad is safe, and his wife is safe because they're not a part of the bloodline, but all the kids are in danger
Right, right.
except for
But
one
then we
kid.
learn that one kid is not in danger because he's a secret love child of someone else.
Chef's
That
kiss.
was honestly agreed. Agreed. Great twist. Did not see it coming, and
Oh my
it
god.
totally kept up the tension because, like, half hour into this movie, we're telling you like this is the order that people are gonna die in, and I'm like, what? You can't do that.
Yeah.
But
Well, usually they do
that
that, but then Alex is like, "Oh no, but I swapped seats with the hot girls, so
right.
actually, I'm here." So usually we do something. I said do do.
It was
I feel like you
clever.
can't do that to yourself. I feel like someone else has to point that out that you say do do. You can't say do do and then point out that you said do do. You know,
Or spend the next 5 minutes of a podcast just discussing
that was
it.
like 20 seconds. All right, cut me some slack. But yeah, so then, but I loved that part because I was looking at the other family, and the brother and sister looked alike. They were like blonde kids, and then you had like this brunette guy, emo guy with tattoos, and I was like, why does he look so different from these other
MVP.
two? Yeah, a lot of people really loved him. I didn't think he
Really?
was. Yeah, the internet's absolutely loving that guy.
Okay, great. Yeah, I thought he was fantastic. This guy, his name is Richard Harmon.
Yeah,
I looked him up and I've seen him in a few things. He's popped up on TV before and stuff. But like I see big things in this guy's future. I
he was
think he's
very
gonna
good.
hit.
He's in the
Yeah, he
100,
yeah, which
89 episodes of that.
I watched the first episode of the 100 and couldn't get further than that. Like, but
He was in a tracker recently.
oh wow, all right, with your boy.
I don't know why I talk about that all the time.
Yeah, you love Tracker, but I think he really owned the screen anytime he was on it. He's great in that sequence in the tattoo
He
parlor
had the
where
best death of the movie.
he has the best death of the movie. Agreed, and I thought he was really fun in that sequence where they're all getting on the fucking camper. And he's like, he takes the peanut butter off, and then he's like, "Fine, I'm coming."
Yes, and when they're
I
walking by the garbage truck, like and in every scene,
oh,
he's like humping the
absolutely.
garbage truck, like spanking the wheel and stuff.
he
He was,
really holds the screen. That guy.
yeah, I was very impressed.
I can't say enough about him. I feel like I was watching a star being born.
But that's my favorite movie.
I know.
He played Captain Boomerang in The Flash, 5 episodes of The Flash.
I don't think I got there. I watched like
Okay.
the first 5 or 6 seasons of The Flash, and then it got too stupid for me.
Mm.
And I think he might have been on like the later seasons.
2023. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I would probably agree he's the MVP. I'm gonna disagree on the LVP though. I'm gonna go with the sister that I thought couldn't really act aside from her great scream in the backyard.
The blonde one,
The blonde
I
sister.
thought
Yeah,
she was perfectly fine.
I thought she was easily the worst of all the kids.
Agreed.
Well,
But
you're not gonna give her the LVP over the main girl.
well, I think she's the worst of the cousins.
Oh,
The
and it's
worst
least valuable
actor
if
in
your
the
dad is the lead.
movie. Yeah.
That's
I
worse.
she was taking down the movie for me.
That's fair. Um, but yeah, her death was fun. We're like, so the girl's setting up like, so we're gonna hit the soccer ball into the garbage can, and then someone's gonna get in the thing. She got it right, but it was like the wrong person, and then she was
Yeah.
like
Her
running, gonna
head
go
gets
jog.
sliced. When I finished this movie, I was thinking about the grade, and I was really between a 2 and a 3.
Oh my
And
goodness,
I feel like if the lead was good, I would have been very solidly at a
it's
3.
way too creative for me to do that.
No, ultimately I'm gonna give it the 3.
Right,
But
right.
like she's what was keeping me thinking too.
That's fair. Yeah, I didn't really feel that. But then, so mom comes back into town, and we're all gathered. Why'd she? Oh, because grandma dies. Grandma kills her. She sacrifices herself to show the granddaughter that death is real. That was a fun scene. She's outside her camper, like death is gonna kill me.
That was kind of a great scene. I loved even when they were like in her house and like the sun was like beating down on like she like catches shit like you're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna get me that way, Death.
Yeah, I
No,
like the. She had a
no.
great line reading where the daughter was like, "Who are you talking to?" And grandma was like, "Death." Like obviously, I'm talking to death. What do you? What a dumb question. I really
Yeah.
liked that. Grandma was really good. Whoever
Yeah,
she was.
I liked all the cuts to funerals though. Like after someone died, like we would just like briefly visit their funeral and see how everyone's feeling.
Right. The best cut to a funeral was in 3 when we get the tanning beds cut to their caskets. That beautiful transition.
Well, that's the
Grandma was
best Final
Gabrielle
Destination
Rose.
movie.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Gabrielle Rose played Grandma. Shout out to her. But then, so mom shows up. We're gathered in the backyard. We're like a toast to let's live our life to the fullest or whatever. And we see
Yeah.
glass in the this was big in the trailer.
But there's all kinds of shit in that scene they set
A
up. Like
rake.
there's a rake underneath the trampoline and
That's when I thought mom was gay because the way she was sitting in the chair was like seemed like a masculine type of sit. Like she had her leg up in the in
that's
the in
funny.
the chair.
I saw it as more of a protective thing. Like she's like not open with anybody.
Mm.
And so like the way she sits is like closed off.
But she had like her leg up on the chair and then or on like the rocking chair and then she sprinted across the backyard to like she jumped up in action um and I don't know, I just thought very masculine run also. I don't know, I thought mom was gay for some reason. I thought she left the family because she realized she was gay, but then she tells us she left because she was holding the family back. She was like protecting them from death all the time and realized this is no way to live. I got to get out of here and protect myself, and in hopes of protecting me I'll protect them because I'll stay alive and then they'll stay alive.
Yeah.
Pretty smart thinking. um but then she died somehow. I don't remember how mom died.
I don't either.
I think at
Oh,
the end at like the
she
camper.
dies like when they go to the grandmother's cabin. Like they're
Right,
like we'll just stay here and like death can't touch us here because like he didn't touch her for years. And but like they have to like crash through that gate and I
right,
think the
and
mom
everything. I
dies
think she
that
got
way.
like cut in half or a pole went through her or something.
Something like that.
uh we skipped over. I guess we did the lawnmower. That was fun. Tim sent me a clip of them shooting it. I saw like behind the scenes footage of them. the guy like laid back and the lawnmower went over him. It was very fun.
The highlights to me were the tattoo parlor sequence and the hospital sequence.
That was a fake out though, the tattoo parlor.
No, I know. No one ultimately dies, but like I thought like the build of that was really well done.
But I had too many questions about how he didn't die. Like the whole building was on fire and he was like on a chandelier above the fire, and then it like cut to the next scene, he's alive. I was like, well,
Yeah.
you made it too close to death for my liking. I thought he was dead. But I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, we learned, by the way, that Kimberly from the second movie, the lead of the second movie, lived. She's still alive. I feel like I never knew that.
Did we? How did we find that out?
Somebody said they were like, Kimberly Corman's the only one who ever lived. I was like, oh shit.
Wow. There were a couple. I didn't remember that character name, but there were a couple of fun references to earlier Final Destination movies. We see like a truck with the
Mm-hmm.
with logs on it.
The ending
I
is
was
kind of a reference too. The logs kill him.
Yeah. There's also a great moment where they're trying to remember the name of the hospital that they need to
Right.
go to, and they're like it's something like Deep River, Small River, and then someone starts saying Clear River, and then it gets cut off, and I'm like, oh, I know, oh,
That was very
river.
fun. I like that too. Yeah. But we haven't gotten to the best part of the movie. By the way, I did like the other brother, Bobby, played by Owen Patrick Joyner. He was playing kind of a wimp character, but he was like a buff guy. I always love that type of character. But he has a peanut allergy, so our plan is to flatline him because we learned that's Bloodworth tells us that's how we defeat death is we flatline. But oh, I loved that line too. Like that that guy was charming. You know as well as I do. Did you catch that?
Yes, yeah, yeah. He had presence or something like that. Yeah,
That was
that was
so
really good,
funny.
and that was my boy, Richard Harmon had that line.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
hysterical. And so that's our plan. We're gonna feed him peanuts to get him real close to death, but then resurrect him, and that'll skip him, and hopefully, will that defeat death in general, or just save his life and then move on to the next person? I don't know.
I guess I like that they were gonna get plain peanuts, and he's like, "Well, listen, if I'm gonna kill myself with peanuts, let me get some fucking good shit."
Those motherfuckers right there. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that. That was very
that was
funny.
great.
Those guys were very good. The chemistry was on point. And so we try to get them out of the vending machine, and we like get stuck on the coil that comes into play later on because it goes through our boy
Oh
Bobby's
yeah,
forehead.
the vending machine I really thought was like red herring. Like once we were done with the vending machine, I thought we were done with the vending machine. So
Yeah.
when that came back into play, I was pretty impressed.
They do so many good fake out. That's what I'm talking about, the creativeness. They have your mind racing constantly. You're on the ride the whole time with
Creativity,
them. What did I say?
creativeness.
Can that not be a word?
I don't think that's a word.
But it is now creativeness.
Okay.
I kind of like that creativeness. But yeah, the creativity was great because yeah, you do sort of forget about that. But also they zoom in on the vending machine and it's like, don't shake it because it might tip over. And then you're like,
Uh-huh.
oh, are they gonna shake it? And it's just gonna tip over and fall because they start shaking it at a point.
Yeah.
They just do so many. They lay the track so well for you.
Yeah.
Um,
It's fun. It's a fun movie, guys. Listen, sometimes movies, they're just fun.
but
All
I but I
right?
don't but I don't think that that's fair. These are ideas that you have to have that have to translate to the screen, and they do it perfectly. I think there's like real artistry in that.
Okay. Okay.
It's like Jackass to me. Like
I
you have you like
that's art.
Jackass and Final Destination are very similar in my mind. But something I didn't know is you can turn on MRI machine to like Dr. Manhattan mode, and
That was insane.
it starts like pulling in the whole city to the
Yeah.
MRI machine if you have piercings or whatever. By the way, we saw a nurse start walking to the she was like turned around in her chair, like, what is that? I was hoping she was like stand up, and then it was revealed she had nipple piercings too. But no, she didn't have any. But it was revealed he has nipple piercings, he has a penis piercing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The penis thing really came as a shock.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
funny. And then what was it was the wheelchair, right? The wheelchair's behind him and it gets sucked in and starts like pulling him into the thing.
Yeah, they
That's the best
just
part of the
get
movie.
wrecked by that MRI. It was pretty good. There's no topping it, and that's why like right after that we go to like the finale.
Yeah, it's is it you that said this about Star Wars? Like after they escape the Death Star, it sort of dies. Like the trench run isn't as exciting. Somebody said that. Was that you, Henry? Somebody I
Might
listened
have
to a
been.
Star Wars podcast where y'all were like, it's not as good after they get it. Like it sort of dies after that part. There's no suspense. Um, but that's sort of here. Mom dies. We can do the RV thing. Oh, fun part where Stephanie is about to die in the like the puddle at the end, like Mr.
Right.
David Dunn style from Unbreakable. That's what I was thinking of. But then we resurrect her, and we're about to go to prom, and dad, somebody's dad is a doctor, and we're talking about how we resurrected the daughter, and he's like, technically, she wasn't really dead if her heart if didn't
Yeah.
stop, and they like look at each other. Oh no, we didn't defeat death, and then the logs come in over the.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That's a bit of an epilogue. It worked for me though. I thought the brother was good.
Brother was
But
good.
yeah,
Yeah, better than sister. It looked kind of dumb. The end. It was looked too silly for my liking.
it's so computery.
I know. I know. That's probably my biggest complaint of the whole movie.
Well, these dudes, Lipovsky and Stein, like they got their start as visual effects guys.
Oh,
Like so
you think they'd be better then?
well, no, but I think they rely on it too
Yeah.
much
Right.
because that's their thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
Well, I'd like to see them make the next one. They did a really good job with this one.
I'm perfectly open to that. This is not a franchise I want to see die yet. Like clearly, it's still got some life in it.
Hope they cheat death.
Yeah. So let's we could do Tony Toddless Final Destination
Oh, I
movies.
forgot about that. Well, we'll just CGI him. They're good with that.
Oh, you want to like AI
Yeah.
Tony Todd into the movie?
Yeah, that'll be no problem.
Okay.
I'll do the lines. So I guess that's it. Who my LVP is the girl who screamed, didn't really do much else. The one who died in the garbage, and yours is the lead.
Caitlin Santa Juana.
Yeah, mine's Raya Kilstead.
Okay, and your MVP?
Richard, I'm gonna agree with you, Richard
All
Harmon.
right, we're gonna go Richard Harmon.
But I
Well,
enjoyed Bobby. The
Dickie Harmon, the blonde kid.
Yeah, he was really
Yeah,
good.
he was good too. But and
Ranking?
I'll give it a 3. I think it's the third best Final Destination movie. I rank him 3, 1, this one, uh, 2,
Wow.
5, 4.
Okay. I'm gonna go 3-1-5-6-2-4. So I like five more than you.
Five's better than this.
I like five. I like the actors in five. I like the ending
That
of five.
stupid twist.
Yeah, love it. And in
All
that
right,
one's cool because you can kill people. They're trying to kill each other.
that's true.
There's like one character trying to push somebody in traffic. It's fun.
Oh, that was fun when he was backing up into traffic in this movie.
I don't know if I remember
They
that.
did like a little homage to that, like from the first one.
Oh, I feel like I was gonna say. Oh, five also has the gymnastics, one of the best deaths in the series. But this one has the MRI thing, and this one will probably stand up to some of the better ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that is Final Destination. That was a lot of fun. I hope they make a new one.